Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. The hottest day of the year, they say. It's been recorded the hottest day of the year. Now, I wouldn't usually do this video now, but I thought for the hottest day of the year, plus in my town, why not do something special? So I am in Worthing. Let me just give you a video here of what the current state is and what it looks like. There you go, there's the wheel. Something special for BWTM supporters. There you go. It's the current site here. Not too far from where I live. A stone's throw away. Thought I'd do this. Here we go. We're at Montague Place down in Worthing. Just a stone's throw away from where I live. Literally about 5 minutes from my home. So I thought I'd do this instead, something different. But I do want to talk about Dillian White. So let me just show you the area first so you can see it. We go for a walk. Go somewhere a little quieter. Have a look at this. They put this up. Made headline news in the UK. This is our wheel. Our Ferris wheel. Quite popular in America. So this is my home. This is where I live. Originally a Londoner, but I moved there when I was much younger and never looked back. I've had the urge. Yeah, I'm at home. This is home for me. Yeah, I'm at home. This is Worthing. Now, my brother's cafe is just here. The boutique. That's his cafe there. So, just when you all see the beauty of my town and the just going for a little walk. Worthing, yes, it's about half an hour from Brighton. People talk a lot about Brighton, home of the Eubanks, as you know, but yeah, this is Worthing, about half an hour from Brighton. I mean, I've got everything I want here in terms of shops, food, the lot, but I want to do something a little different here to talk about this Dillian White situation. Let me get across this damn road now. Well, you can have a look at these things. There you go. Going down the promenade now. It's beautiful at night time when you get the coach. National Express drops you right outside here on the promenade. So it's pretty beautiful in that sense. So let me just go and walk to somewhere a little quieter. Let's get to the pier or maybe down by the beach. All year round it's beautiful. So, you know, there's plenty to see, plenty to do. There's the town centre back down there. The dome. This is the dome we have here. One of the domes. You can see where we are. Hey Ramsden, very nice place. Our cinema is just along here. £3 to watch a movie. I did predict RIVAS to win and I thought in round 9 it was got the job done. But you know, Dillian White's a good boxer. In fact, Dillian White showed he could do a lot more in that fight. But we'll go on to that in a moment. Dillian White boxed really well. Let's go to the pier, man, and let's talk some real business. Because I said I wouldn't do any more boxing videos, and generally I'm not going to do that anymore. But I do want to sit down and talk about this. I think we'll go by the sea. Let's go by the sea, and let's talk some boxing here, man. Let's go by the sea. Let's find a little spot. Let's chill. I don't normally go by the sea. But let's just sit down and chill just for a couple of minutes and let's talk, because we go and talk on the beach, but today's something different, so let's do that. Seems an idea. Get near the water. Yeah, because it's the same old garbage going on. So okay, let's get by the sea. Beautiful, isn't it? Great view. Worthing. Get up every morning and it's like a minute away from my house and this is what I've got. Beautiful. See that? Okay, let's get down to business, people. I just want to show you a little bit more of my world and where I live and how fortunate I am. See up here top there? See that? If you go and look at on my channel, along the coast, Ingram Jones, along the coast, I've got about 5 or 6 episodes where I just specifically just walk along the coast and meet people along the coast and talk to them. But okay, let's do this stuff. You know what? You want to see a little bit more? Let me show you a little bit more. Let's go for a little walk. Let me show you a little bit more of this beautiful town we have. So I do want to sit down and talk, but I just don't find. I'm going to walk further down and we'll talk a bit more. So how have you been anyway? And where are you watching this video from? Let me see if I can walk out here without having to. No, let's walk around here. Let's walk up and around here. No, it's not London, thank goodness. I left London years ago, and when I left London, I was 19 when I left London, 20. Man, let's all be having is lollies today, man. Lollies, ice creams, I've got packed with that stuff I've got, so lollies and ice cream a lot. So let's walk out here, let's go walking. Let me take you to a better spot, we can go and talk. So this is just for the summer. Some of these stuff that are not here generally year round. But we'll talk some boxing in a minute, just bear with me. I just want you to see a little bit more of the town. And I'm always stuck in behind a desk and doing these videos. So I give you more of experience. This isn't, you don't usually have that there. Let's walk on a bit more. Some more of the rides that are here. Now this only comes like for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't have one. Yep. Just show you some of the things that are here. Here you go. It's like if you let's imagine the rides are not here. This is not what's normally here. They're smart. They only come down here like just for the summertime. There's some places you go to that's here all year round, like a Blackpool or something. Salute, brother. Just showing you where I live and how the other side lives. So I just want to go to a place a little bit more quiet that you can have a look and see around. I had to leave London, bro. Left London at 18 I left London and never looked back, travelled half the world. But I always kind of felt Sussex was the place for me. Hey, have a look. So I just want to see people, show people in the boxing world there is more to life than just boxing. But we're going to get down, and we get down and dirty with this Dillian White situation. Because I wasn't going to do any more boxing with this, because I think boxing was an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Full of hypocrisy. Full of, like, some of the lowest of the low people. Sorry. Evening, how are we doing? So I just want to do that. And let's go somewhere nice and quiet. Right, we're going to go here. We're going to get across this road. Let me be careful now. I don't want to end up being the last testament. Hey, let me show you this place I really love where I live. Really love it. It's just along here. See these apartments over here? They're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Love them. I don't know that much, but I really like them. I like the way they're designed. Always liked them since I was young. Is to come down here. Right, now I'm going to cross this down road somehow or the other. There's going to be a gap and I'm going to cross it. Kids, if you're watching, use the traffic lights. Me, I'm going to just get across. I'm good people. Smash the like button, people. Yeah, this is Worthing, not Brighton. So I don't have the Eubanks on I used to live near to the Eubanks, very near to them. I'm just going to go into this lovely place over here where I can just sit down and we can talk some proper boxing. But as you can see, there's a bit of a gap here at the moment. No, not a gap for me to slip through. And these people ain't going to give me a wow. Thank you. Yeah, there's a surprise. Here we go. We're in the gardens now. Beautiful gardens, absolutely lovely here. So we're going to see, this is going to be the place that I'm going to grab a seat and we're going to talk some boxing. Love CB Sports TV, brother. Good to see you. I just missed this live for you to see how the other side lives. Like I said, in previous videos that I was alluding to, like, kind of fed up with doing the videos, and 10 years of reporting it, you kind of get fed up with it all. So just want to do a different spin, and the only reason why I'm doing this video is because kind of my heart goes out to Dillian White. But they've done this shit before, and they do the same old crap over and over again, and I'm going to talk about it. Look, let me get myself on camera now. I don't really think you tuned in to watch the camera. Well, you get what I mean. You don't want to see the grass. Okay, so here we are. This is the man. I'm here. You should. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. I'm literally 2 minutes away from where it's all happening. Let's get a seat here and let's sit down on this bench. Right. Okay. Dillian White, Oscar Rivas, the promoter, and all those good things in boxing. Now, my personal opinion is that I felt Oscar Rivas, me personally, I felt that Oscar Rivas was made, or he was the guy that was meant to stop the Dillian White movement. I believe that he was the guy. Dillian White, when he went down in the 9th round, was not meant to get up. That's what it seemed to me. But he didn't go by the script. So, 600 days for this man not to get a world title shot, fighting the top fighters in the division, all right, or the guys need necessary to get his position to be number one, fighting the likes of Joseph Parker, the likes of Lucas Brown, okay, Robert Helenius, Derek Chisora, now Oscar Rivas. 600 days. I don't want to really get into those conspiracy theories at the moment. I don't know. Listen, Dillian White could well be dirty. He could well be dirty, and I'm not saying that it's not in the realms of possibility that he's not dirty. All right, I'm not saying that, but I'm gonna go the other side. I'm gonna go swiftly to the other side. But just listen, hear me out a second, then you all can come out with your thoughts. The way I see it, and I'm sitting back now, I said, you know what, I'm sick of this boxing world. And I've got more things to do in my life now. So, you know, I've got an online TV station. I want to build it up and do more news and focus on other areas that are more community based. So, anyway, and I've given 10 years to the sport. And there are other people now that are coming up now. And I can see how it's going and what the theme is now. People are more interested in promoting propaganda, fake news, and being the mouthpieces for the promoters, rather than actually telling the truth and asking the questions that really would stir up the sort of answers we get to know about people's character. Well, that's what I expect from the boxing world. So when you don't know people's character, or you don't have an idea of people's character, then you'll expect, and then you will receive any amount of rubbish that goes with it. Any amount of rubbish that goes with it. So back to my point. So Dillian White, we know in the past, got caught for using a banned substance, and that's when I first met Dillian White. I tried to get an interview with him at the Bethnal Green. I said, bro, when can we do an interview? And he said to me, well, you know what, after I'll get off my ban, I'll be back into boxing. He was out of boxing for a while, so he was banned. So there was always that part of the expression, black mark against Dillian White anyway, because he had a banned substance. Now, you know, there's one rule for one person and another rule for something else. Canelo, as we know, got caught with substances, all right, with a beef, and within 6 months he was back in boxing, and he was in the big fight with Golovkin, and he's continued to fight his career, and despite people calling him Canelo, he's still number one in the world, pound for pound, and now he's a franchise champion as well. Okay, I say no more about that. Even though that man was caught, okay, and you looked at his body structure, how it changed from what we knew of Canelo, to his physical structure change, his body seemed more muscular in fights. So I'm just saying that. So there's one rule for one person, another rule for someone else. Liam Cameron, the middleweight champion, Commonwealth middleweight champion, got caught with, I believe, cocaine, maybe, and something else. He's banned for what? I think it's a year, 2 years, something like that. Lucas Brown. My man Lucas got caught, come back, then got caught with some shit. I mean, anyway, let's go back to Dillian base. Dillian White. 2 different countries, UK and US. I'm aware of that. Please bear with me 1 second. Please bear with me. Roy Joseph and Richard Hall, both fighters tested positive for steroids and they let the fight go. Good question. Does the franchise champion have to roll to Invada? Good question. That's what you, the boxing media and journalists, need to ask the questions for, right? But let me get back to my point before I get diverted here. Cameron got 4 years. Oh shit! I didn't realise it was that bad. That's how much I've been following recently. Now, where was I? Let me go back to this Dillian White thing I was saying. Yeah. So we know Dillian White had been caught previously, and he served the time, came back into boxing. Now, for me, 600 days, and you ain't got a shot at the world title. You let Dominic Brazil, who's ranked below you, get above you and get a fight with Wilder before you do as the #1 contender. All right. Despite you fighting for mandatory, the WBC silver title, now you've got the WBC interim championship. A mandatory, baby. Listen, he's got from what I understand, White has got he's not signed to Matchroom. He's got a fight-by-fight contract, from what I understand. He got a fight-by-fight it's got a fight-by-fight, from what I understand. The bottom line is this. I don't think, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, for whatever reason, Dillian White is going to get that title shot against Deontay Wilder. And if we can't get rid of you, and I've told you about this, those who follow me for years will tell you, I told you, and I said to you, this PED thing will be used to assassinate the character of many. I said this to you, God, 5 years ago. So you have people within media, that will push the agenda of the promoter. Understand this. The sooner it's exposed, the better. I understand that Dan Raphael, who I've never seen break down a fight in boxing yet, but he's one of the most respected writers in boxing, is going to be joining Matchroom. That's the rumour I heard. I don't know how true that is. But it's quite clear to me, or quite apparent to me, that if you don't do as the people want you to do, the powers that be, you will be punished for it. Now, I want to remind you all of Jarrell Miller. Yes, Big Baby Miller. In the build-up to the fight between Miller and Joshua, Miller opened up his mouth and started talking about Joshua being on PEDs and all the rest of it. Remember that? You remember how then Miller got sensationally caught and no longer doesn't have a fight? You're messing around with big business, big money and big investment. You open your mouth about stuff like that and you're calling Anthony Joshua basically a cheat. Okay? Well, guess who else said something? Oh yes, Mr. Dillian White. Why is it always a noisy dog when you want peace and quiet? Mr. Dillian White. Hey, if that dog comes anywhere near here, he's going to get one swift boot. I'm telling you now. That dog's coming near here, it's going to get a swift... You think I'm joking? That man may kick the dog in check, he's going to get one swift boot in the chin. Swift kick as well, or in the nuts. Okay, sorry. My apologies. Oh, he's just taking a dump in the middle of the grass. Oh, nice. I understand. Right. Sorry for being distracted. Right. So, Dillian White. Holyfield and Shane got done too. Ricardo Mayoga, Fernando Vargas, Vitaly Klitschko, Tony Russell, all got done for it. Yeah, they all got done for it. Sometimes I wonder. Listen, I'm going back to this Dillian White situation. So he was never expected to. Never expected to yeah, sorry. As you'll see behind me here, the culprit. I gave the owner one look. He walked around me. Sorry. All right. So Dillian White was never, for me, his face never fit. His face never fit. And he opened his mouth and talks about, he talked about Anthony Joshua cycling. And when he goes to Dubai is when he does his cycling. So basically that's when he comes off, comes off the PEDs. That's what he talked about. All right? And you're talking about big business there. Hey, that's the part of comedy, my friend. If it was a rock wire, you think I'd be talking the same type of energy? I don't think I would be. Smash the like button. Listen, so for me, going back to Dillian White, his face was never in the picture. The fact that he got off the canvas against Oscar Rivas, oh nah, this guy, he's now got off the canvas against Rivas and he's beat Rivas. I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think it is in the interest of the WBC. Never talk about the golden child. Exactly. I don't think it's in the interest of the WBC. I don't think it's in the interest of Matchroom for Dillian White to fight Deontay Wilder. If 600 days plus has not shown you that, if Dominic Brazil, who'd fought absolutely nobody, can jump ahead of the guy who's fought the mandatories or the guys he has to beat, if that doesn't show you how corrupt the sport is, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. But just look at the people that have spoken out about Anthony Joshua. And look at Josie Parker. Remember Josie Parker was going to talk all that good stuff. And then suddenly he retracted his comments. And that make you think a bit. So it's very interesting. Now, people think, and a lot of people online think, just because you talk to people and have conversation, can White beat Wilder? It's got nothing to do with White beating Wilder. It's got nothing to do with White beating Wilder. Some people think it's just about two guys getting in a ring, fighting, that's it. Listen, if boxing was that straightforward and that simple, right? If boxing was that straightforward and simple, you'd see a lot more fights happening. You'd see a hell of a lot more fights happening. When will you learn that this sport is as corrupt and as twisted, you would not believe. You would not believe. You know, it's interesting. Let's go to another situation. I'm going off topic. Joshua, suppose he got chinned by Joey DeWaco in sparring, okay? Joey DeWaco's mouth has been shut. And then suddenly, they say, all right, I tell you what, if you shut your mouth, we'll give you a fight. White could have fought AJ for the belts. Right, okay. Let's go for this one. You know, you have to make a decision in life. The decision in life is, are you going to follow what the promoter's telling you? Or are you going to use your own brain and do your own research? This is the promoter. Please let me remind you that told you Fury versus Wilder was not going to happen. Even on the eve of the fight happening, he told you Fury versus Wilder wasn't going to happen. He told Cole Frampton, you won't fight for a world title unless you come through us. Well, that was bullshit. He told us that Stavern versus Povetkin, you know, he knew the purse bids before the purse bids even happened. This is a guy that regularly loses out on purse bids, right? So you can't really trust anything that promoter tells you. Really, you can't really trust it. Oh yeah, but when he says a fight's going to happen, it happens. Well, under his jurisdiction or his area, and obviously he's a promoter and he will make fights happen, so fights will happen. There's a lot of stuff he talks about that's absolute rubbish and garbage, and he's one of the biggest contradictors there are on the planet. Proper contradictors. And so, with somebody of that type of character who's had a track record of contradicting themselves, it makes you wonder if it is the case that Dillian White was allowed with Oscar Rivas to take that fight, right? Fully well knowing that both guys were on the juice, for example. Why don't we put two and two together and just track back? Not too long ago, where Anthony Joshua supposedly was concussed in sparring, and now is turning round. Check this out. Is now turning round And people say, no, he was ready for the fight, he was okay. But when we knew he was concussed, there was a potential that he would have allowed Joshua to fight in an unfit condition. No, Eddie wouldn't do that. No, the promoter wouldn't do that. But now, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together to make 22, right? But now, it's beyond the realm of possibility they would let Dillian White and Oscar Rivas fight with PEDs in their system. Come on, track records. Hey, smash the like button while you're in the room, please. There's 18 people in the room and you ain't smashing that like button. What's going on? So, people leave. People's character. You know, you can do all these fluffy interviews and skating around the truth, and you have people that doing interviews with you that make you look good, like you're a superstar. But once you see a person's character, once you understand a person's character, then you can turn around and say to yourself, you know what? I know what this guy's like, and he can't really be trusted because there is enough video evidence to put on the YouTube to say, or to put across the universe to say, well, hold on, this guy can't be trusted. S heard in league with VADA and IBBF. Come on, bro. Listen. And we also know as well that there is a fan load of Hearn supporters. We know that. We know there's Matchroom supporters. We know that they're paid to, even paid all they're silly enough just to follow what the promoter says. We know that. We know that. We know that with their common channels, and their job is one thing and one thing only: to continue to sell the Matchroom and propagate the garbage and lies that are already out there. But if you ever confront these trolls and you ask them to break down fights, and you confront these trolls and you ask them about real factual things, if you're on the inside and you confront these trolls, you'll find that they're nothing more than just selling an agenda. And the agenda would be, Matchroom's always right, Hearn is always right, the promoter is always right, and you guys are always wrong. And that's what it always is. And that's what it always will be, until people get exposed. So for me, from day one, Dillian White's face did not fit the picture. It didn't fit the picture. And what is it about these dogs wanting to come near me and dump? It's the second dog that wants to come and dump today. What the hell is this? What is it, dumping season or what? I mean, yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so I it stinks as well. Why? I don't understand why. As soon as somebody says PEDs, everyone gets into the scandal. It's a scandal. You think silence is a good or bad thing for White? I think he should have a legal team behind him. That's what I think. I think he needs to keep his mouth quiet until he's been legally advised. I've seen this shit happen before. Dillian White's not the first fighter that's had his character assassinated by. But I want to remind you all of something else as well. While you're all telling the good shit about Dillian White and him PEDing, remember there was a man that was banned for almost 2 years? Tyson Fury. My good man Tyson. Yeah, dogs get the PEDs out of the system, yeah. So, Tyson Fury. Well, he got banned as well, didn't he? Do you believe he's guilty or not, mate? Mate, listen. Unless I've got all the information in front of me, I ain't calling no one guilty. It's very quick. People on YouTube are very quick to point the finger and say, this person's guilty, he's done. Have you got any information in front of you? Have you got information in front of you? And then some of these sources, I'm telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, some of these sources in boxing that you go to as reputable places, I know a lot of them have got the information wrong, incorrect, or so they can get it wrong as well. But some of these sources, why take fights you have to juice when you were already mandatory? Okay. Some of these sources of information, I tell you, how many people on YouTube actually track back the source to who funds these various boxing outlets? Please go back and track the sources. I ain't doing that no more, because that's not for me no more. I'm doing this video because, one, it's to empower other YouTubers to go out there and do the research. AJ losing is a scandal, and Dillian White talking PEDs is scandal. Matchroom fanboys, Jesus Christ. I know. Look, Do yourself a favour. Do yourself a massive favour. All these media outlets. Hello. All these media outlets. Do yourself a favour. Research who is funding them. Research who's funding them. Now, check this out. Just because it doesn't say Matchroom or Box Nation or BT Sports, how do you... now we're talking. This is what we call journalism. Investigative journalism. You all supposedly got running around with cameras. Why do you research who these people are and who's funding these things? Because, let's put it this way. If, for example, let's say, Super Boxo 2019 starts with a media outlet and they're associated with one of the biggest promoters in the world, it's obviously in their best interest to promote the garbage that promoter and that promotional team put out. So let's, for example, say, for argument's sake, BWTM Sports, right, okay? That's the media outlet. And let's say, example, not factual, and let's say, for example, Hype Room or Mismatch Room decide to say, you know what, we think you do great work, you've got a great audience on YouTube, you do a lot of press and media staff work, and you know what, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Denise Wards, much love to you. Hello again, it's Deja Vu. Right, so imagine now, my company and their company get together and say, you know what, as long as you ask me, you keep asking me those good questions. You don't ask me any difficult questions. You ask me them good questions and you promote the bullshit I talk about, and I'll give you free tickets to see all the big fights. You'll get to talk to all your stars, all the boxing stars, and guess what? You get to do interviews, you make a lot of money on YouTube, and that's your income, and you just keep it cushy and everything's okay. That's fine. You watch these videos and you get indoctrinated by the garbage because it's on YouTube and you go, yeah, it must be the truth because he said it. Garbage is garbage. Regardless of who speaks it, it's garbage. And you have to understand, you have to be able to discern and say, well, okay, who is behind these companies? Who is behind these media outlets? Oh, it says today on here, White had 3 non-title pay-per-views and made pounds with Hearn. Would he have done a better deal with PBC? Would he have got a world title fight if he had gone with Top Rank? As I spoke about all this time ago. Look where Tyson Fury is today. Remember, I was the man that sat down when Terence Crawford and Amir Khan was in the country. What did I do? I went to Bob Arum. I didn't talk much about Terence Crawford. I asked him about the Dillian White situation. He said, Dillian White needs to come to America, have a few fights in America, and we can get him that world title shot. He said Matchroom are doing him no favours, and he needs to leave Matchroom. Yeah, of course, he's a rival promoter, blah, 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 blah. But I tell you now, I believe he would have been more successful under Top Rank and had more protection. Well, possibly. See, the problem is this. If your face don't fit, or you don't make the money, there's a way they can get rid of you in a contract. And here's a way to get rid of you in a contract. Isaac Dogba. Remember Isaac Dogba? This is a typical move. Right, you're not a massive ticket seller. And your team may or may not be difficult to work with. I'm not saying no, I'm just giving you an example. Isaac Dogba, not a massive ticket seller. Not a big ticket seller in the UK. And you've got a contract there. So, this contract, according to, you know, the guy, the person behind Top Rank may say, you know what, I don't like working with this team. They're too difficult to work with. They've got too much money. They don't want to go by. They don't want to play the rules. They're acting like big bollocks. Let's terminate this contract. Well, we can't legally terminate the contract just like that. So how could we? Smash the like button while you're in the room, people. Come on, right? We can't just literally terminate the contract. So what do we do? Let's match him with a guy that's taller than him, longer than him, that punches well, takes a good shot. Yeah, let's match him with him. A match that he can't win. That's where matchmakers work. So he fights this guy, and he gets his shit beaten out of him. But guess what? I gotta talk to good old Bob. I say, Bob, when are we gonna see Isaac Duggan back in the UK? He goes, well, he's gonna have to fight the guy again, you know, that beat him for the title, and he'll have to go back in there again. I'm thinking, shit, Bob, that young boy took an ass whooping, and you're gonna get that boy back in there again to take another ass whooping? Another ass whooping? So, what does it say in the contract? Well, nobody knows what it says in the contract. But clearly, if you're losing fights, and you're not a ticket seller as it is, that don't bode well for you. So you turn from being a potential superstar to becoming a journeyman fighter. What? Journeyman fighter? Yeah. Used as a stepping stone for other guys who are bigger ticket sellers and have got more reach and have got more pulling power in terms of money. That's how it goes. Okay? That's how it goes. Now, Dillian White, one of his concerns, I would think, is that if you sign with a Matchroom or you sign certain contracts, there's certain things you are obligated to do. Like, you fight when we tell you to fight. You will fight this amount of fights. You will fight who we tell you to fight. And remember, his father, Barry, Bazza, you know, he made it quite clear that he gave out slave contracts. He was the slave master almost. You'll fight who we want, when we want, whatever time we want. Regardless if you're fit or not, you will fight. It's you doing the fighting. Who the hell wants to be in a contract like that? I've heard... Thank you. I've heard fighters, right, who they start off earning 5,000, 500,000 they start off on, and every fight, next fight they wage 250,000. The next fight is 150,000. The next fight's for 100,000 down to 50,000. And the end of the contract is 25,000, and that can be for a world title shot. Now you tell me if you would sign a contract as dumb as that. Would you? No, you wouldn't. It's stupidity. But you don't know what the contract looks like. So until you know what... Hey, listen, 30 people in a room and you're only 13... Smash the like button. Unless you are a Matchroom fanboy. Please. So, as I'm saying, unless you're like real dumb, or you're not very good at school and maths, or you just literally want to get ripped off, then yeah, sign the contract. So when people can't say, yeah, he had the opportunity to fight AJ, AJ's one of the biggest names in boxing. Dillian White has got a big... Dillian White, for me, I don't believe is a big ticket seller. I don't believe that. I believe that he's had other fighters on that bill that are maybe more better ticket sellers than himself for him to be top of the bill. So you think who was on that bill that night? You had Derek Chisora, you had Dave Allen with David Price, Arthur Spilker. Who else was on that bill that night? And a few others. So you pack the bill with fighters who are decent ticket sellers or who have got good names. You know, Derek Chisora's been around a while, so he's a good ticket seller. And everyone knows Derek Chisora is in a good fight. If guilty, White's looking at an 8-year ban, according to the media. I hope not. This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. If the 600 days was not an indication that Dillian White was not going to get a world title shot, I told you all. So now this is what's happening. That's why I don't waste my time with this sport no more. It's a damn waste of time. The sport of boxing, number 33, number 32. The sport of boxing now has become like WWE. Apart from people, real lives. I haven't said that people have died in WWE, and that's a sad thing. But any death, and my condolences to the family of the recent fighter that passed away. It just shows you how brutal a sport this can be. White's been self-managed, will piss Hearn off. He loves Charlie Sims, manage his fighters. There we go. So Dillian White's profile grows, and as Dillian White's profile grows, that gives his fighters more range to do things as well. I don't know what Dillian White plans are, and I don't know how Dean White and Dillian White work together. I do know he's self-managed. So when you're self-managed, you have more control. When you're an independent, let's go back to Audley Harrison, who started this self-managed, self-promoted shit off, and how badly he was treated. You all forget that Hearns were around back then as well. These are the people that told you that Audley Harrison was going to knock out David Haye. These are the people that told you Jess Harding was going to knock out Gary Mason. These are the people that sold you that Herbie Hyde was going to defeat Riddick Bowe. Check the track record of these people. Check the track record of these people. So, is this the nail and coffin for heavyweight boxing? If it's true, it is. This is what I'm saying to you. The world of boxing today, as we see, has become nothing more, particularly in the UK, than a pantomime. That's what it is. It's not a good look, EJ Boxing. Good to see you in the room. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. All right. If that's not a good look, then AJ being concussed going into the ring against Andy Ruiz was a good look. I mean, even we had Stacey McKinley, former trainer of Mike Tyson over 10 years, Alexander Povetkin, Tony Tucker, do you know what I mean? And a host of other world champions, over 30, I think 35 world champions. And he came on the channel and said, that guy was concussed walking to the ring. He showed all the signs of somebody who'd suffered from concussion. So, they were never going to pull that fight. They were never going to pull that fight. And it's not the first time I've heard that AJ's been concussed before fighting. Then the Andy leg fight, where he had been knocked out in sparring and then took the leg fight. They put that fight up and because they knew that he'd blow out leg quickly. PED WBC belt. Haha. Well, yeah, well. So, I don't know. What I do know is that Oscar Rivas is also a part of this. So let's talk about Dillian White for a second. Oscar Rivas is also a part of this as well. And it will be interesting to see what Rivas' team will do about it. Means something going on in the ring with the mean to do damage, PD. Yeah, I get that. But let's talk about Manny Pacquiao for a second. Stop right there a second. This promoter, was it not too long ago that they were trying to sign Manny Pacquiao? And now they're saying Manny Pacquiao's juicing? Remember, this was the same promoter that said Scott Quigg was the best, was it super bantamweight in the world? And then he turns around and says, not too long afterwards, when he's got Frampton, oh, Frampton's the best in the world. Listen, the promoter will say anything for a bit of change. That's absolutely, will say what they've got to say. Jobs of a promoter. His job is to promote a fighter. That is all his job to do. How can you win all these belts in all different weights? You can do, it's possible. Thomas Hearns did it. Vander Holyfield did it. Roy Jones did it. James Toney's done it. It is possible. Floyd Mayweather's done it. Oscar Rivas didn't go for it in the 12th round. He had White in the bag. That's what I'm saying to you. Oh shit. I was talking that good stuff earlier on. As Errol Spence would say, keep that energy the same way. Well, let's see what happens now. We've got a real dog in the house. Can you see? I don't know if you can see now. As this we're talking about keeping that the same energy. And you saw the energy significantly changed. Can anyone explain why you had a request of B sample for White fight days before the Rivas fight? Good question. But we know UCAD and Tyson Fury. No, Errol, I don't think this time it is it. I think there's a lot more going on now than back then. But the reason why I'm doing this extended video is because I just hope that somebody within the boxing media will click two and two together and think, okay, hold on, no more of these silly interviews where you're laughing and joking with the promoter, and he's you know, he's got a stage to say what he likes, when he likes, how he feels, but he's confronted on the bullshit. More people need to be confronted. If White is cleared, what should his next move be? Well, if White didn't know who his friends were and his family were and who were going to support him, now he knows. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Dillian White should go down the WBA route. How many times do I have to tell you guys this? Go down the WBA regular route. What more do I have to say? What more do I have to say? And there's a reason why I'm saying going down the WBA regular route. Right? You can still call yourself a world champion. Because remember, and the WBA regular belt, that was the belt in boxing. People who are not clued up about boxing, that was the belt. And the bunch was just saying AJ was cheating. This can't be real. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I keep saying to you all. Was it not too long ago Jerome Miller is why Eddie's bans real media from his fights? Listen, I don't go to his press conferences. They're full of bullshit. I don't go to any of these press conferences. I've told you already. If I told you the bullshit I've had to deal with previously and expose certain people for what they really like, I'm telling you. I don't go along to get along. Understand this. I don't go along to get along. Understand this. I do not go along to get along. Well, remember, go back and listen to Eddie Hearn. One interview. And in one interview, it pulled out so much. Remember I asked him about Al Heyman in that interview. He should fight Price, tall, long and lanky, because Fury will be next. Remember I said that to you about him and how arrogant he was. Oh, Al Heyman won't get a TV deal. How's that possible? Blah, 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 blah. Because I could see it happening. Al Heyman's in the UK now. And I believe Eddie don't like White. I always had that feel. No, he doesn't. Because he's put him on the spot and exposed him many times. How many times has White roughed up Eddie? In terms of why is he not getting the right fights and making him feel uncomfortable? Honestly, do you think... But I can't... You'll have to... Let me see if I can get those comments up now. Top chats, live chats. All chats are visible. Okay, there we go. Honestly, do you think all boxers should be allowed PD? I've said this before. I said it before and I'll say it again. All fights should be allowed to have PEDs. Why? Because it makes it even playing field. Well, you can't do that. People have got PEDs as it is in the system anyway. We all know it. So at least there's an even playing field. There's some that have and some that don't. And there should be a universal ban on all fighters. All fighters. Universal ban. So if you're going to... A universal rule. If you're caught with this substance, you're banned for this. You're banned for this, and it's universal. It's not one rule to suit Canelo, another rule to suit Joe Bloggs, who fights at the Bethnal Green, and he'll get banned for 4 years, and Canelo will get suspended for 4 months. Regardless of the amount of money they earn, they should be banned the same way. Okay? So either we all have PDs in the system, or there's no PDs, and then you don't have... Look, it's how corrupt and how messed up boxing is. You have judges and referees the night before at a hotel room. How you doing? You've got referees and judges in the same hotel as the promoter or the organisation. Or they're going to dinners and eating dinners the night before the fight. What kind of bullshit is that? I just have to say as it is. I'm sorry. I have to just tell it like it is. So, you feel when you're getting treated in a, hotel, judges being paid or referees being paid for top hotels. They're getting, top hotels. They're getting the best of the best treatment. And then, that's just some stuff. That's just some stuff. But check this out. Let me add some other stuff to it. some of these single referees and judges, you know, they're able to get women ordered for them on the night, and you know, adding that on the tab, and the money they're getting paid on top of that. All sorts of bullshit. All sorts of bullshit that goes on. So you're wondering why these judges can't judge straight. Are you wondering why these judges can't judge straight? I'd find it extremely difficult to judge straight if every fight I've got with you. Boxing has reported that White tested positive for small amounts of Danable, which is an anabolic steroid byproduct. Yeah, okay, right. All I say is this: where do they get their source from, and where do they get their source from? I'm not saying boxing scene is good or bad or indifferent. All I'm asking you is this: check where the information is coming from, as you would. Boxing is a mafia, not a sport. There's no such thing as universal. If anyone is desperate, they can fight for another organisation. You've still got Danny Williams fighting up and down. British Boxing World Control will never allow it. It would be another sport. Agreed. What's up, my brother? We're just talking about Dillian White and the PED scandal, and just how corrupt the sport of boxing is, and why I ain't got no more time for the pantomime, and just talking about how this sport works. Just listen to more of the more unpopular people across YouTube and find out why they're so unpopular. When they talk about referees and judges being in the same hotel as the promoter, and these referees and judges get in the top rooms. Yeah, I bet you did. But remember, just remember, that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. The whole aim is media. For media, it's character assassination. So be careful when we assassinate character. Would not be surprised if Dillian's met Richard Riakpor's on the ped. See, this is what happens. Because now the top guy gets caught with peds. Now imagine if the top guy, imagine if Joshua got caught with peds tomorrow. Imagine tomorrow if he got caught with peds, just for a second. How would that rock the boxing world? Yes, brother, I hope you're well, Hamza. How would that affect the boxing world if he got caught with peds? That's big business and big money. You're talking multi millions in deals, in endorsements, sponsorship deals, TV deals, the lot. So, referees, judges can't be trusted, because they're going to get their fair cut of money, and they're also going to get top treatment in the hotels, right? So they're going to live well looked after. Very difficult to promote. Sorry, mine got distracted there. Very difficult for one to do their job properly. Very difficult. Very, very difficult indeed for one to promote, to do their job. Okay, so got distracted there. But yeah, it's very difficult for somebody to do their job when they are under the influence of living the high life. The girls that are being ordered on the night, you know what I mean by that, and what other substances may be used on the night as well. News breaking is that his brother was smoking ganja near him. God. I don't know what Dean White and Dillian White were trying to do. I don't know what their plan was, but we all know the old plan. If you're not falling in line with what they want, the establishment want, they will do anything they can to disrupt your business. And this disrupts their business. You know what I mean? It disrupts their business. Frank Bruno ended up getting sectioned because he was juicing back in the day. I'd rather not comment on that. So, nah. Chisora just comes, gets his money, and he's off on his way. Chisora does what he does, makes his money, and is on his way. But Chisora don't give a shit. But he did look very powerful if you look at Chisora from I don't know if that's more weight training, but if you look at Chisora's frame from his back, he looked extremely powerful when he fought Spilka. Very powerful, very solid. Now, I don't know if that's the type of training that Chisora's doing now. If you look at his back looked really big. He looked like he's doing a lot of weight training. So I don't know. He looked very powerful against Spilka. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 second that Chisora's on anything. But he looked very powerful against Spilka. Very, very powerful. And that can be testament to training as well. You know, if he does the same thing against Parker, and if he can spark Parker the same way. Chisora's strong, but I don't think he has stamina for rounds. No, I don't think so either. I think Chisora's past it for me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. But they'll keep wheeling Chisora out. They'll keep wheeling him out as long as they can. These people have got, and they'll wheel out Dave Allen as well. They'll wheel him out. I don't know. They'll wheel him out again. Chisora looked like a beast in there. If he caught Wilder with that shot, it's lights out. If he caught Wilder with that shot. If. That's a big if. It's more likely Wilder's going to catch him with that right hand first. But anyway, so just a word of caution to all boxing media out there. Before we jump the gun, before we jump head first into he's on PEDs. We haven't got the evidence of that. And we know how I've told you before, PEDs is used most of the time to discredit fighters. You don't want to fall in line. You don't want to become part of the team. You don't want to do as we say. You don't want to sign up to the sanctioning bodies. You don't want to do as we're doing. Well, guess what? This is how we're going to get you. We're going to put you out. We're going to disgrace your name. So nobody's going to want to deal with you in the future. That's how it works. There are fighters, well-known, world-class fighters, I know, that have been forced into certain fights on the basis of, well, if you don't take this fight, you might not get that opportunity again. So a fighter can be trained to fight one person, and then they have to switch the training camp to fight someone else. So yeah, it's always two in it. It's always two or more, isn't it? Chisora's bang on the juice. Possibly will be, could be, I don't know. But he looked like an extremely big puncher in that last fight. I'm not saying he is, he's not, but he certainly looked very powerful. I'll say this much. I'll say, boxing fans, boxing media have a responsibility, a journalistic responsibility, to find out where they're getting the sources from, and then have a balanced view. As soon as we hear one thing in the media, we're ready to jump on the bandwagon. Look, I've always thought that Hype Room were going to try and get as much money as possible, grab as much money as they can, rip as much money off from the fans, and then check out. I've always felt that. So we'll have to wait and see if it happens. But Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn are no more than Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon. They've got their script, they've got their fighters, they've got their setup. Hay might have been advising Chisora's punching technique. Yeah, of course. Like the punching technique he used against Klitschko, right? The overhand right that barely hit Klitschko. Of course. No, I don't know about that bit. Or the punching technique he used against Bellew. Yeah, right. I don't believe any of that. I don't know. He just looked physically stronger. Chisora hasn't improved as a fighter. He might have got stronger. Same old shit he does. No, I'm just telling you as it is. He's probably guilty. UCAB kept secret the positive Tyson Fury result until after the Hammer fight. Yeah. Remember I mentioned the thing about Tyson Fury? That Tyson's back now and, you know, Without AJ and White, I can't see Matchroom going. Fish eyes, Frank must be licking his lips. What did I tell you lot? What did I mention to you lot a while ago? If you didn't, you should have joined Warren. If you didn't join Bob, you should have joined Frank. Join forces with Frank Warren. Joining forces with Frank Warren, I think would have been a great move. Hey, should we go for another walk? What do you think? Should we go for another walk or do you want me to stay here? What do you think, people? Have a look at where we are at the moment. Rumours always become facts. Alright, let's go for the walk then. Let's do this shit. Alright, let's go for the walk. Where are we walking? We're going to go down the high street. We're going to go down the main road. Where are we going? Make your choice. Main road, high street, or somewhere else. Main road, high street, that's the same thing. High street, main road, or down by the beach. What do you think? What's better? What do you want to do? Yard knocks out Kovalev. Kovalev can't take that power. I'm telling you now. Where are we walking, people? Beach. Back to the beach again. We're going back to the beach. You sure? High street. Right. High street it is. People are going to think I'm crazy going to High Street. So we'll walk and we'll talk and I'll get you back on the High Street. Let's go. Let's go. You don't see us and me. I'll keep talking. Okay, well, we'll start with the hotties now, shall we? So, for those who don't know, this is Worthing. It's about half an hour from Brighton along the seafront in West Sussex. Beautiful place. I just want to do this video today because my heart kind of goes out to Dillian White, you know, because whereas I think he may have done it, he may not have done it, he may have done it, he may not have done it. I do believe, in my heart of hearts, I do believe there's that thing about character assassination. I really do. So, I don't see why in the biggest fight of your career, you're going to go and cheat now. With all the eyes on you, and the world's against you, you already know people are against you, why you would decide to cheat. I don't understand it for 1 second. I've never understood it. My man is on it today, man. Come over there. Oh, thank you. Very nice of you. So let's go through. So this is a very popular road here. It's a famous Warwick Street, they call it. So I'll show you a place in a minute along here. You've got to see. This used to be a really nice engine, but they closed it down. As fast as they opened it. Ask Italian. Okay. So it's very easy to assassinate someone's character without knowing the facts. And for me, I always urge a bit of caution. He's very silly if he did cheat, but I suppose he must have thought that he'd get away with it. Why would you get away with it when you already know that your promoter hasn't, or the person that's promoting you hasn't delivered on his promise of 600 days? Surely that would let you know that you are not doing. He's not doing his job, and things are against you. Okay, here's the famous pitch. This is pitch. Look up here. All right. Right. This restaurant pitch. This restaurant pitch that was for MasterChef. The guy that won MasterChef. That's his restaurant right there. It is a beautiful place. It's everything I want here. I think I'm going to future do my videos like this. Any other videos I decide to do in the future to do sport, I'll do this while I'm here, while the sun's out. The Thieves, quite a decent bar, restaurant there. Yeah, I should do one of these at night time. I've done these before at night time. You need to check out the nighttime ones. So this is the main town centre now we're coming into now, or the middle of the town centre. So we got our students that are in. Good old students. Foreign exchange. In. Yeah, buddy, you want to see Body Street? Come and see Body Street. Come look at Body Street. We're going to look at Body Street. Let's go and see my friends at Body Street while we're here. No, I'll tell you one thing. The standards of students, when I used to live here when I was younger, the standard of students, not the same as they used to be. I'm telling you. Things have changed so much. Let's go and see the Body Street's open. It should be open till 8 o'clock. So we'll have a little walk around and see them as well. See if they're in. So, I just don't understand how somebody who's got PEDs, somebody who's got PEDs, oh, new shop here, Warhammer. Here we go. So you go, it's Body Street. There we go. The famous Body Street. So, there you go. So you see how things fit together. They fit together quite nicely. So there you go. That was my little walk into the Body Street. So yeah, I don't understand why Dillian. For me, I don't know why. Why would you do PEDs? Biggest fight of your career, right? Supposedly, headlining a show, and moreover to the point. Not only that, you already know the tide is against you, and they don't want you to fight for world title. Why would you PED? It just doesn't make logical sense. You know the world are watching. You know you're not liked. So why would you do it? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But it does make sense to destroy a brand that's growing. It does make sense to destroy a brand. Let's go around this way. So I'm walking home now, but let's just walk this way and go for a little stroll. He PED'd because he wasn't confident against RIVAS. So what you're basically saying is, he PED'd. What, do you think he was going to get knocked out? If you're talking about people who weren't confident, Anthony Joshua wasn't confident against Andy Ruiz, and he brought in that psychologist or that Navy SEAL to prevent himself getting knocked out because he was worried about getting knocked out. So you talk about confidence. So there we go. While we're going this little walk, let's have a look now. We are at the another place that I've got to give. Yeah, he didn't need to fight. That's right, he didn't need to fight RIVAS. There we go. Another place that I've got a lot of time for. It is Aunt Bunny's hut. A taste of the Caribbean in Spain. So, West Indian food by a Barbadian man, right? A Barbadian man and his missus, his wife, who's Spanish. So yeah, this is just the Arches, the Montague Quarter. So I said, it's a beautiful area that I live in. So yeah, listen, I've got about 5 minutes left of this, so fire up your questions. Let's talk a bit more before I finish. Oh dear. HMV. He might have taken PEDs because he lacked confidence. He wouldn't be the first fighter to do this. Big Baby missed up a career high. What did Big Baby Miller and Dillian White have in common? They both outed Joshua and talked about Joshua being on PEDs. So there's two people that did this. Two fighters, two pretty high profile fighters, talking about another high profile fighter and say he's on it. So I mean, that in itself wasn't very clever. I think we'll go back to where we started, this whole thing. Yeah, we'll come back to where we started. So to me, the whole thing doesn't make sense. So I just asked, do your research, check with the publications I'm not affiliated with. They are. Check the publications. Make sure that with the publications that they're not associated to the promoter. And if they are associated to the promoter, shout out Ingram, do you think, let's see this now, let's see all chats. Let's see all chats. Listen, White Miller file 3. Yeah, that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. And we only told by what we're told, it's not by what we know. What we're told and what we know are two different things. Being told and what you know are two different things. I was told once that Hughie Fury was fighting a fight against Izu Ugono by Sky Sports. I was told that on the Sky Sports website. But when I sat next to Hughie Fury at the time, he said I knew nothing about the fight. Why did you subscribe? What? I don't understand. Billy Joe slagged off Canelo after he got busted for Clen, and then a few days later he got busted himself. Very fishy. That's what I'm saying to you. It seems to me if you don't go, let's do some more walking. Let's do some more walking and talking, people, because I'm not quite bought on all this stuff of all these people coming out of being cheats, right? I think it's twofold. Well, let's look at the realm of possibilities. That's a bad dog. Wow. So, the realms of possibilities. Let's look at the realm of possibility. One, they're all in it. They're all cheating, or the majority of the top fighters are cheating, and there is a circle. And in that circle, let's go for a walk. Let's go along the high street now. They're all cheating, and then there's a circle of people that know they're cheating, and those people that are in it are, conspiracy theory, those people that are in it pay a certain amount of money to sanctioning fees on top to keep your mouth shut. And if they don't, then they get outed. That's theory number one. Theory number two, and one I think is a more popular theory for me, is that the PED situation is used as a way to destroy fighters' careers. You can't beat a fighter in the ring by the normal circumstances, by putting fighters in the ring and beating them that way. So instead, what do? You use the opportunity, the PEDs, to use the media to bash a fighter. It's very easy to bash a fighter, as we know, because it's done all the time. It's done all the time. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We go for this walk again. This is a nice walk along. They call this is Worthing High Street, where all the shops are. It's a load of shops along here. Like I said, there's everything you want here, so I don't have to go to Brighton, believe it or not. Everything you want here. Beautiful place. You might be onto something, Ingram. Billy just sort of talks about Canelo and gets busted soon after. Big Baby Miller and White because AJ and gets caught a year. Yeah, let's see you go. Just look at the people that speak out and see what happens to them. Like, if you accuse the big earners in boxing, you'll probably get popped for PDs yourself. Look at that. Yeah, but check this out. There are people that have to admit to things. They have to apologise. You have to understand the nature of the beast. And sometimes you have to go and apologise. Sometimes you need to apologise simply because, it's not because you mean it, but because you're not going to make any more money afterwards. Big promoters, they're all tied up, handshakes under the table, all that shit, you know? When you've got handshakes under the table and this person knows that person, that's connected, and they say, listen, if you don't apologise, then this is what's going to happen. Yeah, so Miller might fight Fury next, and that is a dangerous fight. Very dangerous fight for Fury. Not a fight I'd be advising Tyson Fury to take. I'd be more surprised. I'd be more inclined that fight happens if Top Rank sign Big Baby Miller. So you see, I've seen it so many times where people are apologising, not because they have to apologise, but because they have to apologise because they want to, but they apologise because it is in their best interest. So they go along with the lie, which is that they failed, they popped. You know? So you follow the narrative. Yeah, same with the MMA fighters. A lot of people are using, don't get me started on sports where more at stake, like football. But yeah, so there are people that do it. I'm not disputing that fact. So this is what we call, this is Worthing High Street, and then we've got our right end. This is it here. So we've got on West End. Yeah, I don't think Matthew sabotaged White. He's a second cash cow. He's simply not confident against Rivas. Don't believe that for 1 second. He's their second cash cow. You think Dillian White's a cash cow? If Dillian White's a cash cow, my name's Jack the Ripper. Good evening. How you doing? Good. If Dillian White is a cash cow, then my name's Jack the Ripper. My name's definitely Jack the Ripper. Dillian White no damn cash cow. I like Dillian White. He ain't no cash cow though. When you talk about cash cow, Canelo's a cash cow. I believe that. Pacquiao's a cash cow. I believe that. AJ's a cash cow. I believe that. Bro, Dillian White a cash cow? You serious? You serious? So I don't really believe that for 1 second. All right, so we're just walking along Worthing here. Just felt like for walk. I go for these walks all the time, but yeah, so that's why I don't know, but what I do know is Dillian White is a cash cow for Matchroom. He even has his own TalkSports come. So what? So what? So what? Okay, let me tell you something. Do you think Dillian White could sell that fight out with a weak undercard? Meaning no Derek Chisora, meaning no Dave Allen, meaning no fighters, and just put a whole bunch of new gen fighters on the undercard. No, they couldn't. He couldn't. He wouldn't. He couldn't do that. Canelo, however, AJ, however, these are guys that don't matter about the undercard. People are good fights. The beautiful seafront. Let's get back on the seafront, people. Like, Dillian White is not, I don't care what anyone tells me, he is not the event. You don't go, you don't say, yeah, I'm going to go and see a Dillian White fight. You say you're going to see a Pacquiao fight, that's an event. And so with that, I don't know. I don't think it's like that. For me personally, I don't think it's like that. Let's go along the beach, man. Let's see what's going along this beach again. Yeah. Nice and quiet along here. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? That's where we were earlier. See the there? Isn't that beautiful along there, people? Let's go look at the sea again. Other than AJ, Matchroom have nothing after White. He's not as big as AJ, but he's the second most popular fighter in Britain. What? Second most popular fighter in Britain? And made money from Matchroom. They wouldn't have given him 3 pay-per-views otherwise. Mate, they're giving him bloody pay-per-views because they've got a quota to meet by the end of the year. So like, Sky Sports will tell you, we'll tell Eddie, right, it's Pemberley. The Sky Sports will turn around and say, we need you to deliver us 18 pay-per-views this year. So Eddie's got to fill 18 pay-per-views a year, right? So that's why the recycled Derek Jewell comes out, Dave Price comes out. I'm still expecting old school fighters to come out of retirement to fight for Matchroom. I really am. I'm expecting like a one night only Carl Froch, Tony Bellew, Enzo Macronelli. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it. Mr. Boxing today, my brother, I saw your video, thank you so much earlier, regarding the Ugono. He needs to retire, man. He needs to take his ass into retirement. Another man needs to take his ass into retirement, Dave Allen. He needs to retire as well. Really needs to retire, yeah. So where I'm at Mr. Boxing today is by the beach, which is where I live. I don't live too far from here, so I've just taken people and shown them the beauty of the beach. Hey, it's an extended version because, as I said, I think boxing's a joke. It really is. But because of what's going with Dillian White and the inboxes I got, and it's a situation where I feel very strongly about, I'm doing it. Yes, it's in the system, not just White. Mr. Boxing today, salute. Don't want to take this off subject. Okay, please do it, because don't take anything off subject. But who else felt Pac-Man was on that juice this weekend? Look at how he walked through Furman's right hand. Yep. He was on something. Something was, yeah, but he wasn't VADA tested. So, I mean, you know, he wasn't VADA tested. So, what do you expect? Salute to the chat. Salute to you as well, Mr. Boxing today. Let's get back on the road. Dave Allen will get hurt. He's not. Do you see how ironic it is, yeah? And Ricky Hatton and Darren Barker were taking a Tunde Ajayi's pad work. If they actually studied that pad work, Dave Allen would be slipping punches and not getting hit flush with big right hands. But Dave Allen's a whole different subject altogether. Most people know how I feel about that situation. He was badly advised, I think. And he is where he is today. For a little bit of money and a little bit of fame for 15 minutes or half an hour, you know, your career is deteriorating because you've been taking too many punches to the head. So as for Pacquiao, we all know what it is. Come on, we know what it is with Pacquiao. But he makes a lot of money. He's a pay-per-view star. He's a cash cow. And so with it, you know, I think after Pacquiao retires, it may come out, but as a senator, he may have a little bit more protection over him. But there's something there with Pacquiao. Come on. Let me turn the camera back on me because it ain't nothing great to look at here. So, how you doing, bro? Good, good. Like I said, the reason why I'm doing this video, or this live thing, is twofold. Just to show you the beauty of the area that I live in, and secondly, because of how I feel about Dillian White. It's just, to me, it's just showing how media is today, that all you have to do is say somebody cheated, and without looking at any evidence, without having any proof, with us, any proper documentation, and even so the documentation, looking at how in the past things have operated and how things move. The promoter is never wrong. The promoter is always right. The fighters are always wrong, and it's not possible that they could ever be caught on anything scandalous and any sort of conspiracy theory around the promoter, because the promoter is always right. Let's see what people are saying. Where has he failed? What has he failed on? So now what for heavyweight boxing? If White goes, let's see. If White, I'm just trying to. Damn. If White, let's check what it says here. Live chat. So what now for heavyweight boxing? If White goes, it will be a lot boring. Your predictions this time next year for Dubois? Listen, wherever there's money, there's corruption. Wherever there's money, there's corruption. And boxing is one of the most corrupt sports in the world. I'm telling you now, most corrupt. And this just exposes that. Let's show you one more time, our battery's going low. So let me show you this before I finish. The big wheel. I'd love to know what you all think about it. Mr. Boxing Today, please do a video. Please do a video on this. We're talking about boxing media. I'd love to hear. But yeah, this is my town. Literally. Here we go. Let me get rid of this. Let me get out of there before I get done on YouTube for copyright. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely changing, but Sussex, you've got a reduced amount of crime out here. You've got the diversity. I mean, Worthing was more diverse. I mean, Brighton's more diverse than Worthing, but it's a nice class of living. Nice class of living. You're not getting any trouble out here. Fresh up mini donuts. It's lovely. And when my friends come over and family come over from the USA, they come here and they're like, oh wow, love where you live, love your lifestyle, and they don't want to go back because everything's in one spot. I've got everything: food, drink, cinema. I think he stands a good chance in the heavyweight division. As I said before, I don't think the heavyweight division is that strong. I think it's it's weak. There's a lot of untested fighters. I think in the next year, we're going to find out where everyone belongs in the next year. We're going to find out a lot more. We'll find a lot more about Tyson Fury. If he fights Miller, we're going to find a lot more about him. Miller's going to want to prove a point. Fury wants to stay at the top of the mountain. We'll see how that goes. They want it. I hope you do more videos in a while. Well, you should do. Oh, by the way, I'm running a competition at the moment, Denise. I'm running a competition. We're running a competition on the Facebook page, which is the competition. 2 tickets, and it's called Restoration 2019. It's on Facebook. So yeah, it'd be great if you could take part in a competition. 2 tickets for 2 people to come for a week to the UK. They can come and see London. We pay for their hotel, their travel expenses and their food. We did it before, back in March. It was a great success. Worthing, absolutely. It's not even a conversation. Worthing is a far better place to live than Ireland, for me. 2 confirmed. Okay, yeah, I know they just confirmed, but I said before, anybody can confirm anything. But the thing about it is, media is so powerful now, and people do not stop and ask questions as to what and why and how. People are more happy to just say, yeah, he did it. He did it. Yeah, he's dirty. People love scandal. But people are, in this society, in this time, are less likely to do research. So I think we need to do better research. We need to question promoters and managers more, so we know more about their character. So when situations like this come up, we need to question more of these boxing sources. People just put up information on boxing sources. Where did it come from? Who are they connected to? Are they connected to WBC? Where are they getting information so quickly? How are they able to cycle this information out so quickly? Are they connected to the lab? How do they get this information? Oh, just sources. Oh, it's a reputable source. Reputable by who? Who's making these things? These places reputable? 2 boxers have died in the ring this week. A bad week for boxing. It's a bad week for boxing. But as you know, you've got ups and downs with boxing. And it's just questions need to be asked. And we need the right people to ask the right questions. Where are these boxing sources getting their information from? 1. And 2, how are they connected to the promoter, the management team? And if they're promoted to those that are corrupt, then you can only have corrupt information. I think some people want to believe White was dirty due to his dislike of Eddie Hearn. People dislike things he's associated with. Hold on a second, let me get that. See people there? Man, you take a shave. People, White was dirty due to the dislike of Eddie Hearn. People dislike things he's associated with because he rubs them up the wrong way with his big mouth and lies. That's true, I know. So because of this, I totally agree with you. Let me take you for one last part of Worthing. Not too far from where I live again, the Royal Arcade. Oh, this is a beautiful spot. At night time it's beautiful as well. This is a really beautiful strip. I love this. Often at night time I'll just come and walk through this strip here. Cafe Nero. Nationwide. Gallery. Art Boutique, the dog shop, Pendulum, go, Solarium, Miss Cherry, for our female viewers. John, Rock the Rock. So it just leads us back out here. I'm up to the best chip shop. The best chip shop in the country, for me. Harry Ramsden. Lovely. Right. Let's get back round. We walk around here. Leads us back onto the main road and back home for me. Cow shed. Back to main. See me here, on. See it? There you go. Yeah, Worthing indeed. Best noodle place in town. Give a shout out to them. Mr. Seagull, how are we doing, buddy? And we're almost back. And that's it. Thank you all so much. I think these videos are now going to be more of a rarity in boxing, for me doing boxing. Thank you so much for your... Mayweather beats Pacquiao's ass again, man. Pacquiao ain't improved as a fighter. Mayweather's far more skilled. Pacquiao will never beat Mayweather because he doesn't know how to deal with counter punch with a straight right hand. So I don't see. Pacquiao can't beat Mayweather, I'm sorry. Doesn't happen. You're just going to get more money taken off you again. So, of course, there's no way Mayweather's going to fight Pacquiao on the juice. So you're going to have Pacquiao without the juice. There we go, that's top of Montague Street, back on the town centre. And we're more or less back. So, thank you all so much. Appreciate you all for hanging around 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is myself, BWTM Sports. We're out. Take care.